Hello and welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is another Fallout 76 video and it's another bug video. Now, as you can see, I'm loading into the game. This here is a picture of my farm where I farm for adhesive and water. Now, straight away, I'd like to shout out to my new subscriber number 7. Thank you for subscribing. And yes, it is action sims because yes, you build houses, and yes, you sort of run around and don't really do much, and there's action, and it's kind of like Sims, so action Sims. Anyway, this first bug that I found is the server crash bug. Now, obviously, a lot of people are getting server problems. Now, I don't know whether it's my connection or the server connection, but we all seem to be getting dropped out of servers here, there, and everywhere. I just thought that this one was quite significant. It took around 1:40 to load the game. Now, after you load the game, it usually gives you a couple of seconds of jittering around or stalling up while it loads in all your inventory, while it loads in textures and things like that. Things that should be being loaded in this loading screen. Now, I don't know why it does that when you first get into the game. It should be ready to go as soon as you come up. Now, as you can see, when I start walking, it's a bit jittery, it's a bit stally. I'll take a few steps, it'll sort of lock for a second, and then it'll be fine. And usually you can play for a while before it kicks you out. Now this time, see, it just locked there. Now this time when I loaded in, it was a little bit different because it loaded in fine, it did the normal thing. I looked around, obviously you can see I'm walking very slow because I'm carrying way too much due to carry weight issues. My stash box is full to overflowing because of the heavy weapons that I want to keep. You also have to keep a lot of weapons because your weapons break all the time. Now, this is the second time in this location. I'd found it a while before. I died here, then I loaded back in. Now, as you can see, the enemies have loaded back in, so it's loaded a different server than the one I was in before. Now, you saw the ghoul backup as I pulled out a melee weapon, showing that the ghoul AI has actually had an upgrade, which is good. You'll find that the scorched AI is a little bit terrible, and their rendering is a little bit terrible because they hold their guns upside down or back to front. They have melee weapons that they're not using when you kill them. Now here, I've killed them all. I loot their bodies. And as I'm looting their bodies, what happens? 2 minutes in, oh sorry, you're kicked out of this server. Okay, 2 minutes of gameplay after 1:40 loading in. Seems fine. Now, this bug here I found in this one location, this one time. I found that after I opened the settlement and got attacked, these crickets would register, some of them would register shots and not move their hit points at all for up to 7 shots. And then it would move fine for the weapon I was using. They also seem to be able to take out these turrets with minimal effort. 2 or sometimes even 1 hit and the turret goes down. I'm not sure that should happen, but that's fine. I can repair them. I'm always carrying way too much junk. Here I am looting these bodies for their meat because you have to eat so much in this game. I can't believe my character's not morbidly obese. And that's really not softcore survival, Todd. That's hardcore survival. No one can eat that much. You can see here this cricket is stuck. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to hurt me. This cricket here, his hit points move straight away. Now, I don't know what's going on with this hit registering, hit points not moving in the beginning. This weapon seems to work fine at some times, and then not others. Now, I wasn't always using this weapon when it was happening, but this is the only footage I have of it. This cricket goes down just normally. He takes damage, he dies. I loot his body, and then I head around. Oh, I've got to fix this machine gun first. So I get in, give it some more junk. It starts working again. I go around to get the cricket that's stuck, and you'll see again, hits are registering. You get the hit registering marks, but it's 7 shots before the hit points start to move, and then they move normally. Now at this location, when I first got here, the big bullfrogs were doing it as well. The first lot of shots just would register, but they wouldn't take any hit points off. And then after a few shots, the hit points would start coming down. Now this one is the VATS in and out, jumping in and out. I don't know why that has happened, and it's happened to me before. This time it only happened for a short amount of time. The first time it happened, it was at least 10 or 20 seconds before it went away. Now here we have a Wendigo. Now sometimes I'll use doorways to get away from larger enemies, as they can't get into a doorway. The Wendigo was actually able to get into the bus, but once he was in the bus, he couldn't seem to find his way back out again. He seemed to get stuck up next to the driver's seat. As you can see, his hands are clipping through the wall. I actually managed to get a shot on his hand from outside the bus. You can see a hit register there. And I go into the bus. He's moved away from where he was clipping, and he's no longer stuck. He's able to attack. I'm able to attack him, even though some of my hits here are not actually registering. The bullets just seem to be passing straight through him without hitting him. So I decided, if that's not going to work, I'll use some grenades, I'll use some explosives to get him in the end. Now, I thought about using the auto grenade launcher, but it's a bit dangerous in a tight location like this. So I grab some grenades, I throw them into the bus. The first one goes in fine, and boom, he takes some damage. I grab some frag grenades. Now, I mustn't be very good shot because this one just bounces off the door. I back up. Yeah, that's fine. I go back up to the door, try and figure out where I can throw it. Nope, that's bounced off the door again. All right, well, we'll just have to go back inside and chuck one right at his feet. Yep, right at his feet. And then, oh, nice swan dive through a solid object. Thanks for watching.